I am on. Hi, everybody. It's Georgia Rose from Zencuda. Welcome to the Soul Space. It must be Monday night at 7 o'clock because I'm talking to you all. What a great day it was. I have to say, the sun was shining so much. And all I heard all day long from Alexa and on the radio was how we're having a huge snowstorm. Well, I didn't see a flake. I don't know if you guys saw anything, but, well, I didn't see a flake coming from the sky. I saw a lot of flakes today, but that was a whole other story. Definitely had some crazy stuff going on today. So just, I feel the energy speeding up, and boy, is it going to change. We're going to get to that. Let me see who I have on tonight. I am in the soul space. All right, so who have we got on? I'm going to give everybody a little time to get on board. I have, let me see, if you would, whoops, get to that. That would be me talking to you guys. So hopefully you guys are all sharing the show. As you know, we're running a great contest where in the next 30 days, actually it's till I think we said March 25th, I think we said, or the end of March, March 30th. We are going to, anybody who shares the show gets entered for a drawing for a free reading with myself, Georgia Rose. Now you can come here live on the Soul Space. We can do Zoom with you, or if you want a private reading, you don't even have to be on TV. Just share the show, and we're going to put you in a raffle to win a private reading rather with me, whichever way you want to do it. If you want to do Zoom, you want to come on the show, you want me to just do it for you personally, that's fine too. So if you would be so kind as to share the show for me, that would be really awesome. I would love you all, and you might get a chance to win a free reading with me, which would be awesome, right? So I can't find my own space here. I got to come out of here. I'm doing all this stuff online tonight. So I had a really busy day today. I actually was doing everything from real estate to astrology readings to looking at co-op for an investment. So I had a really busy day today. And sometimes when I have a day like that, I get a little scattered. But I find lately that no matter how many activities I have in a day, I'm much more focused and I'm doing them all really well and focusing on each task at a time. And by controlling my mind that way, I'm actually doing everything a little bit better, just a smidge better. So I'm really having fun with that and playing around with that a little bit every day to see how much more I can focus instead of focusing on how much I can get done in a day, you know, all that multitasking that we think is so cool. Well, I'm kind of the frame of mind lately that getting things done one thing at a time is actually cooler. And being there 100% and really being present in my day is really working out for me. I feel really focused, but I also feel like really in flow and in alignment with the universe. So I challenge all of you to just really try to do that from now on, staying fully present with each task that you're doing. And I'll bet you that you're going to find that you're a lot more productive like I have. So let's see who I have on tonight. I have Janine, a couple of people. I've already got 5 shares on the show, so I know you guys are looking for those free readings. All right, I'm going to share the show onto my page. For some reason, I just can't get on my personal page, so we got the show only on the Zencuda Soul Space tonight. I don't know why. I don't know, Bobby, if you can share the show onto Georgia Rose, that would be absolutely awesome. All right, so here we are. Let me read my comments, see who I have to say hello to. Here are my comments. So I've got Aaron on. Hey, Aaron, I got Christina on. I've got Strong Island Television is watching us. How about that? I hope that if you're tuning in for the first time in the last couple of weeks, you're seeing this beautiful new studio that my producer Bobby built for us. It's absolutely amazing, and we love it here. I'm never leaving Soul Space in any other studio. I have Laura Alvino on. I got Liz on. Liz actually has already entered into our drawing for a free reading. Got Michelle Allen on. Got everybody on. So tonight, Sarah's on. Got a lot of people in the Soul Space studio. So send up some hearts to each other. I love to see that. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel because I definitely want to see you guys over there. So hopefully Bobby's sharing the show on the Georgia Rose page. So the first thing I want to talk about tonight is Saturn going into Pisces. That happens on March 7th. We've also got a full moon that night, so it's a lot of energy coming in. And even though that's a week away, I want to start talking about it because we're going to start to feel the energy really shift. There's a lot of major energy shifts that are coming in March for us, and I've been talking about those for a long time, at least since last September, October. But March 7th, Saturn goes on to Pisces, and then March 23rd, Pluto goes into Aquarius. Two huge planetary shifts. When Saturn goes into Pisces on the 7th, we're actually completing a 29-year cycle in our lives, because that's how long it's taking to go around the zodiac. So in Pisces, Saturn is very uncomfortable. In Pisces, Saturn really wants to set boundaries and limits. But Pisces is an energy that has no boundaries and has no limits. It's mutable water. It just wants to flow and float and imagine and float around with spirit and things like that. So a couple of things that I think are going to happen when Saturn goes into Pisces for all of us is we are going to find some spirituality and science merging. And the reason I say that is because Saturn is very physical. It's a very structural type of energy. And Pisces is all about the spirit, the ethereal, the dreams, the imagination, the things that we can't really touch or see. Touch or feel. We can only see or see in our minds, right? So when Saturn comes into a sign like that, Pisces, which is all about the spiritual and the connection and divinity, meets Saturn, the boundary maker, the authority. So I think we're going to see a lot of things in the next couple of years, all about science and spirituality merging. And we have a lot about that out in media right now with, people like Greg Bradenton and Greg Braden rather, and his heart-mind, merging exercises like that. You've even got, Deepak Chopra, who definitely merges spirituality and science quite a bit. So for all of us as individuals, I think what that's going to boil down to is, first of all, becoming more devoted, more disciplined, being more of an authority in our own spirituality. I think you're going to see a tremendous amount of gurus starting to come out of the woodwork, and spiritual advisors and healers and all kinds of psychics and things like that coming out of the woodwork in droves, because that's the energy right now with spirituality and our consciousness opening. But with Saturn in Pisces, I think that we're going to have our own discernment about that. I think Saturn in Pisces is really going to come into our lives, and that energy is going to make us be more of our own spiritual leader. We're going to start to be more disciplined about our own practices, whether that's yoga or church going or something that you do every day, meditation or Reiki or Tai Chi or whatever it is. You're going to find yourself in the next couple of years really being more structured and devoted and bringing that into your daily world, because Saturn is going to put the limitations and the borders and the boundaries and the authority on your spirituality. And so I think, watch for that, because I think that we're going to really start to exercise our own discernment a bit. Saturn in Pisces is a little bit uncomfortable. Pisces is very unstructured and Saturn is very structured. So you're going to have that battle. So what's more of that battle in our daily life than the structure of science and something being tangible and literal, and spirituality, which is like, Pisces itself, mutable water. You can't hold water, right? Not for very long anyway. Saturn wants to bring structure to things, and Pisces wants it to be free. It wants to just keep imagining. Pisces wants to dream the impossible dream. It's like I recently put up a quote by Walt Disney on my social media that said, how cool is it to do the impossible? And Walt Disney actually had a quote about it that said, it's fun to do the impossible. And I thought about that, and I was like, some of us do the impossible every day. Well, Saturn in Pisces, what's impossible? Pisces says nothing is impossible. And Saturn says, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to show you what the limit is. So it's going to be a really interesting couple of years. This also brings in a tremendous amount of energy of distrust. We've already been seeing that quite a bit with Saturn in the last two signs of Capricorn and Aquarius. But now it's going to bring in distrust in a spiritual way. So you're going to see a lot of people who are not of the highest integrity really start to kind of descend or dissolve, or Pisces and Saturn in Pisces is definitely an energy of dissolution. We will be disillusioned about things, and things will also dissolve that are not of the highest integrity. Pisces wants things to be of the highest integrity. So does Saturn. That's the one area where they come into contact. So I think you're going to see a lot of distrust of old structures continue, but now it's going to continue into things that are maybe less tangible than just the traditional structures that we've been seeing. You're going to see dissolutions of things that maybe we held in high regard spiritually and have them be revealed for the truth or distruth that they are. This is going to be, in terms of that dissolution and the dissolving of things, it's also going to be, because Pisces is that mutable water, the washing away of a lot of our structures. Now, that could be literal with tidal waves and tsunamis and things like that, or it could be metaphorical. Water is emotion. Pisces is an extremely emotional sign. So we may see things playing out on the world stage that can be very emotional. But this definitely is about our spiritual integrity and becoming our own leader. So wherever it is in your life where you're not forming that spiritual integrity, where maybe you're a little lax about it, or you're procrastinating about something, or your belief system is a little wobbly, you're going to find that this really is a time when that's going to come into question, and you're going to have to pull in those boundaries a little bit. For those of you who have Pisces sun, rising, or moon, you're going to find that this can possibly bring in a feeling of being separated from the world, or a little bit of isolation. You may find, if it's Pisces moon, that you are a bit more emotional over the next couple of years than you normally would be, and things may come to the surface that are spiritual things that you have to bring in boundaries for. Also, if you're a Pisces rising and this hits your ascendant or is in your 12th house, you may find that you have a health issue. And the health issue may give you some isolation in some way. It may be a health issue that's hard to find because, Pisces is that ethereal energy that's not tangible. This also can be towards the end of the cycle, and Saturn is going to be in Pisces for a couple of years, almost 3 years. This can also be something where, towards the end of the cycle, that feeling of being in isolation or separateness or not being in sync with the world suddenly solidifies. And now you see what the last 2 years were about. So lots of stuff. And I'll continue with how, Saturn in Pisces is going to change us. But the biggest way it's going to change us is Saturn in Capricorn and Aquarius over the last 5 years were some really heavy duty structural things coming down. It was a dissolution of and the limitations of a lot of our traditional structures, schools, churches, businesses. We're seeing everything that we always held tangible kind of dissolving or being reformed or transmuting. Now, when that energy goes into a sign like Pisces, we're going to see it start to be more on the ethereal plane. It's not going to be so much the politics of the world. It's going to be the spirituality of the world. Also, Saturn in Pisces is going to bring some really great energy in fields like, same with Pluto in Aquarius, fields like artificial intelligence and technology. You're going to see tremendous things happening in those fields in the next couple of years. And of course, our question is going to be, how much of those things do we want to embrace, and how much of our humanness are we really willing to give up? And again, Saturn in Pisces is going to bring in that spiritual leadership, our own discernment of what we want to do. So it'll be a really interesting time. We may even find this to be a little bit of a renaissance when it comes to things of the spirit, healing, sound healing, healing with water being very sacred, living waters, things like that. You're going to find a lot of stuff coming in because Pisces is a mutable water sign. And we also have Neptune in Pisces for the next little while. So that's really our hopes, our dreams, our wishes. So Saturn in Pisces may really bring our dreams into reality. If you have something that you've been working on for a really long time and you've been working really hard on it, Saturn in Pisces comes in to reward you for that hard work and manifests the dream into reality, because Saturn is our structure and Pisces is the dream. It's our imagination. So it's the impossible, doing the impossible. So in that regard, it's going to be some really beautiful energy for some people. So, Bobby, we have a couple of people online saying that we're breaking up, that they can't really hear me. So I don't know if you want to test some audio. Oh, she's saying it's better now. Okay. Thanks, Bob. Bobby's the best. He's eating his dinner. You guys should all come down to the studio and watch the show live sometime, as long as you're very, very quiet, because it's really actually pretty fun here. I'm going to do some events with astrology. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned, because we are going to be giving you some astrology lessons in the studio. So I'm going to open up to cards early tonight because I know the last couple of shows we kind of had me talking a lot, and I knew guys get tired of that. But if anybody has any questions for Saturn and Pisces, or you have any astrological questions, you can call in the show or comment. And if you have any questions about anything at all, you want a reading online, just call into the show tonight. And Bobby's going to keep me on time. So I think I have a watch on now. Yeah, okay, good. So I'm going to go right to cards, and I'm going to start to go down our list. Aaron says, I'll take some cards. Aaron says he can hear me just fine. So maybe that was your stuff. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Aaron shared the show. He's entered for a free reading. See that? Here you go. There's the numbers on the screen. 516-945-9099. You too can have a reading with Georgia Rose in the soul space. I'm loving my soul space. It's so pretty in here. It's so pretty in here. It makes me want to have guests. Okay, so let's go to some cards, people. So on Thursday and Friday nights, we have an open jam here down at Paradise Studios, and we also have an open mic night. So if you have any kind of talent at all, come on down, Massapequa, and see what we're all about. If you want to have a private party here and do some karaoke, you can do that too. Just talk to Mr. Bobby L.A. Lacera. Right, Bobby? Private parties, we love them. I'll even come if you want. All right, this card's for Aaron. Oops, I am shuffling all over the place tonight. I don't know, how do you guys like the lighting in here? I think it's a little harsh. Might have to have some work done. And I didn't get time to blow out my hair today. It was really crazy. I mean, I woke up, I had to train some agents on Zoom. You know, I still train sales agents. Then I had to run around a little bit for work. Then I had to prepare for a class I have to do tomorrow for the agents. Then I had to do an astrology reading. And then I had to go show a co-op. And then I had to come here. Feeling sorry for me yet? Okay. Aaron, you've got beautiful card. You've got the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, my friend, is actually a card of recognition and honoring. So Bobby's actually going to put a camera on the table for us so we can see. And we've got another wand card, which is the Seven of Wands. So you've got the Six and Seven of Wands, Aaron, and the Six of Wands is a card of recognition. That means actually, you know, it's the figure of the soldier, like coming back from battle with a crown of laurels on his head. So that means he's being recognized, he's being hailed as the hero of a battle. So sometimes when I see that card, I think about that being recognition for something you've been working on in your life and a job well done. And then the other card that we have, which was the Seven of Wands, is the same kind of energy of the soldier actually having his last hurdle and you know, coming over that last hurdle and defeating his last hurdle. So to me, especially with the energy changing this March with two major planets changing signs for the first time in years, Pluto going into Aquarius for the first time since 2008, changing signs since 2008, this is really appropriate for me thinking that one cycle is ending and another cycle is beginning for you. You've mastered some of the lessons that you've had to master in the last decade, and now there's some really smooth sailing. I'm going to pull a soul card to confirm the reading, and I have this beautiful card which confirms this for me. If Bobby's going to put a camera on the table, you'll be able to see it. And it's this beautiful card of a figure, an angelic light being figure, with another smaller figure being held in the palm of his hands. You'll see it on camera in a minute. And to me, that card really is a significator of your inner self, your higher self, being held in regard by this beautiful light being. I don't know if you can see that now, this card here on the table. It's facing me, but I'll face the camera with it. And so this is to me a feeling like you are so protected, like your higher self and the inner self is all merging. And that means you're raising your consciousness. And as we do that in life, that's when we get the recognition and we get to be in triumph over the battles that, you know, our soul wants to learn, the things that our soul is looking to learn. All right. So take that with you, Aaron, and I hope that you have the good rest of your evening. So who's my next person here for a card? I'm going to do Sarah. Sarah's saying tonight's her Monday night boost, so I got to send up some smiley faces and stuff for that, and some hearts for her too. Ooh, there's stars on here. I love these stars. Oh, that's not a thing to send up. Okay, well, sometimes I'm technically challenged, and sometimes I'm really good on the computers. Oh, I'm just in a good mood tonight. I've been in my yoga teacher training, so I do yoga now, like, I don't know how many hours a week it is, maybe anywhere from 16 to more hours a week I do yoga. And so I'm just like in a really good place. I'll tell you, if you are out of balance in your life, yoga is the best thing you could ever do. Now, I'm not talking about gym yoga where you stand on your head and you go crazy and you work out like nuts, or hot yoga. No, I'm talking about the full yoga as a lifestyle, as philosophy, as the way you're living your life and raising your consciousness. That will put anybody straight and in alignment with this world, let me tell you, because I'm in such a great place just from being in that beautiful studio a few times a week. So, okay, Sarah, what have I got for you tonight? Ooh, the Knight of Wands. Sarah, I think this card comes up for you a lot. And you've got this beautiful Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords means that sometimes we have someone who is not always trustworthy in our life. So if there's anybody that you are having an intuitive moment about that you think maybe is not everything they seem, well, you're probably right. And if it's next to the Knight of Wands, it's probably a younger male. Someone who is a fire sign, like a Leo or an Aries, could also be a Sagittarius. But usually when I get the Knight of Wands, I kind of feel that Leo, Saggy, and Leo Aries energy because it's very fiery. So let me see. I'm actually going to pick another tarot card for you to confirm this a little bit. But if there's any kind of, monkey business going on in your life, somebody that you maybe are not trusting completely, your intuition is right on the money, honey. So let me see. They're telling me to pick from the middle of the deck for you. All right, yeah. This is could even be somebody whose name begins with an S, or a Steve, Stefan, Stephanie, something like that. Yeah, there's somebody out there that is not all they appear to be, almost like they're a poser. So just, if that is in your line of energy, just look for that and know that it's there. I think awareness is really half the battle with anything like that. You just want to send that love and move away from it. Okay? Next, we have, I'm looking at my list here. I'm reading all your comments. Okay, I'm going to do Anne Rothney. Anne, the new set is beautiful. I love it. Bobby outdid himself on the set. He really did. He really did. I have to tell you. Like, I was like, the old set was okay. It was cool. But this is really, like, we're in another world here. I'm just loving it. And he did violet lights for me because he knows I love violet, and those are for me. He might say they're for other people too, but I know he did it just for me. I'm his favorite. I don't bother him. I come in late, 2 minutes before airtime, and then I sneak out the back. Okay. But really, you guys should come down for open mic night. Maybe I should bring my whole office here for karaoke one night, Bob. They would love it. Okay. So, Anne, you've got the Page of Swords. Usually when we have the Page of Swords, Anne, that means that you're going to get a communication. What I will tell you is that more than likely it could be a communication of something that may be a loss. And I hate to bring that in, but we are in a cycle these next few days of endings. And then the energy completely changes once we're around the 7th of March. But I'm getting the grief card next to that. I know you can probably see that. I have to get used to the new camera setup. So I'm just trying to, I got to put them here. Okay. So you can see here we've got this grief card, but it's also upside down for you, the camera being the querent. And so we've got the Page of Swords card, which came in, and then the grief card. So this could actually be a communication about a loss, or it could actually be something that happened in the past. The way I'm feeling this energy is I'm sorry to say, sweetie, you might get a phone call that isn't always good news. The Lovers card just came in, which is a card of interference. So this could be a call with maybe something that you've been hoping or wishing that would happen. Maybe it doesn't happen. But I will tell you, when that is the case, and if that is the truth, it's because the Spirit will remove something from our life to put something better in that place. So don't fret. Don't be upset. Don't worry if it's bad news. I'm not saying it absolutely is. This could also be something you've already received and be the energy of a past communication that was something with grief or loss, and you're thinking about that lately, and so I'm picking up that energy. So if you are doing something like that, you need to move on into the future. But I have a feeling this is definitely a communication that you will be getting, and it requires action on your part. So, just surround yourself in beautiful protective light and know that you're never alone, and that all of your beautiful community here in the soul space always is there spiritually to help you through whatever you need help with. All right. Next card is going to be for Elizabeth. She likes Lizzie, my ginger. She likes my set. So, Liz, I am going to do my soul cards for you because for some reason I just feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing for you. I do what they tell me. Liz and I go back a long way. We actually took Reiki attunements together. I don't even know how many years ago that was. Geez, must have been like maybe, I want to say 2012 or 13. Oh my God, it's 10 years. Wow. Wow. I better hurry up. I don't got a lot of time left. Just kidding. That's the other thing I forgot to say. Saturn in Pisces, don't be surprised if you see a lot of things coming out that are youthing instead of aging. For instance, I think you're going to see a lot of things that are turn back the clock of time, if not, cosmetic surgery type things, maybe some things that have that effect but are spiritual, or different matters of healing, rejuvenation, purification. I think we're going to see a lot of that. So Liz, I just pulled this beautiful card for you, which is a soul card, which I think you can see on camera. It's actually a face surrounded by light and leaves. You can see this little like leaves or ivy coming down off the face. When I see this and there's light coming from the eyes, so I interpret this as new growth, okay? And all this light, especially in the third eye and crown chakra, coming out of your eyes. So to me, this is a card of truth and seeing truth. So I'll be very surprised if in the next day or so you don't have something that comes in that is a revelation for you or truth for you. So just take that with you. I don't know exactly what it's in reference to. I'm not getting a lot of energy. But I think, I think this may be, I was going to say before the card was pulled, it may be about the kids. Something comes in about the kids. Maybe, I don't feel like it's anything negative. I feel like this is maybe something that's very kind of nice, actually. Like maybe you guys book a vacation together or time together or something. But I definitely feel like you're going to get some kind of a new growth, new something about the children, the girls. So take that with you, and I'll be anxious to see what that's about. All right. Good night, Aaron. We'll see you soon. Aaron is going to his class. Skincare is huge. That's true. Also, yes. And anything to do with water. You're going to see a lot of healing, hydration, water filtration. You're going to see us like with a new type of way that we hydrate foods, hydrate our bodies, hydrate everything. Water as a living thing. You're going to really see a lot of that. So I love you too, Liz. Night, Aaron. Have a good night. That was a long time ago. We were just saying about the 10 years. Yeah, see, Anne Rothney just said she was feeling that like she's going to get a communication. So that's definitely probably coming in for you. And, sometimes as a reader, as someone who's, does that, and I, of course, in private readings, I go much more deep, you have information to deliver and it may not be great information or happy information, but it's information that that person needs for their soul growth. So you always have to make sure you deliver that like kind of, in a very diplomatic way, I want to say, because you don't want it to be jarring to someone. So, all right, who else have I got on here? I got to keep pulling cards for you guys. Don't have a lot of people on tonight. I thought I had more. I think that's because I couldn't share it on my Georgia Rose site. I don't know why. Laura Alvino, I'm going to pull a card for you. Okay, Laura? How are you doing? And Janine, I have to pull a card for. Okay, so Laura, this is for you. Laura, I got the Temperance card, which actually is a card of balance, temperance or tempering, having things in temperance. And then next to it, I have the Ace of Pentacles, which is actually new and meaning in a form of abundance or wealth or actual pentacle coin. When I see this, I'm getting a feeling of you may be on a track of being super busy or a little hyper right now in your daily activity. But I feel like in order to actually get the abundance that you need, I'm going to move the cards over. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting about the camera angle. It's all new to me in the studio. But what I think you really need to do is actually calm down and relax and center. And that's when the abundance comes in for you. So I'm feeling like whatever hyperactivity is around you, or, you're trying to do more than one task at work, just like I was saying in the beginning of today's show, I feel like the recognition, which is the next card that I just pulled, and the new beginnings and the abundance come when you're actually quiet. No good idea was ever formed in chaos. So I'm going to say to you, if you find yourself on a really fast track, definitely come in and try to do a relaxation or a little, maybe even 10-minute meditation or walk in the park or something. Bring your head down, and then the ideas, the projects, the forward movement that you're looking for actually come in for you. Yeah, because the next card I got was confirmation of that, that you're in some kind of a conflict right now, a hurdle, a battle, something, nothing, I don't get it to be like a real major, major thing, but it's like a daily thing. And I feel like the answer is in the quiet, like the answer is in the silence. So take that with you, because I think that you're going to, as you contemplate and become a little introspective about these cards, it's all going to come to you and make sense. Okay. Who else have I got on here? Let's see. I'm doing good. As I said on the beginning of the broadcast, I feel like very in tune with the universe, really in flow, really aligned. And I love when I feel like that, because things just happen. It's funny because I was a little bit late leaving the house today to come to the studio because I had such a busy day. And there was a point to which I'm driving here and every light's green and it's flowing. And I thought I was going to be late. And I got here like right on the nick of time. And it was just in flow and in alignment. The mileage on my car was 2222222, and I was like, wow, the angels just float. I felt like the car was like floating, and that's just total alignment with the universe. And the way that we get there is when we relax and we just let it flow and let it happen and be in joy and trust. And that's another big thing that's going to come in this month with the planets changing the way they are. We're going to have really, our trust is going to be coming into things. There's going to be a lot of distrust in the world. And we're going to have our own discernment about what is trustworthy for us and what is not. We're going to have our own discernment about where we are trustworthy and where we're not. So a lot of things, Pluto is the planet of power. And when it goes into Aquarius on March 23rd, it's like liftoff, because Aquarian is all future energy. So even though Pluto comes in sometimes harshly and will transform things in a not very gentle way, the ultimate object of Pluto is to let something die so it can be reborn better. So these are going to be really fabulous times the next few years, and we have so much opportunity for creativity and growth. So take advantage of it, really take advantage of it. Get yourself in that flow like I felt even just driving here, a lot of different ways that you can do that. And some of those ways are really simple, like just even with breath work and breathing and things like that. So I'm going to pull a card for Pauline. Her Saturn in Pisces in the 7th house. So Pauline, that's all relationships for you. So what Saturn in Pisces will probably bring in for you in the 7th house of relationship is Saturn will come in and want you to structure relationships. And Pisces is going to be like, no, let them flow freely. We don't need any boundaries. So I'll bet you're going to have some conflicts over maybe some boundaries that you might want to set and the partner doesn't, or vice versa. You also may have some things coming in that are actually removed or taken away because they were too boundless or too structured. Either way, the object of this transit is balance. So look for those things in your life. What relationships, even in your familial relationships, your work relationships, what dynamics do you have where the power is out of balance, either too limiting or too free-flowing, too loosey-goosey? Those things are really going to come into play with you in the 7th house. You're going to undergo a lot of relationship changes. What I will say to you is at the beginning of this transit, the way things are is probably not going to be the way they are at the end of the transit. Now, there's no good or bad to that. It's just going to be different. And hopefully, something to raise your consciousness, right? So that's what I would say about having Pisces in the 7th house. And I am going to pull some cards for that for you. Let's see how is Pisces in the 7th house going to affect um, Pauline's relationships house. Okay. Ooh, you got the star card, Pauline. That means you've done work. You're going to get a reward. So that, oh, look at this. We've got the I'm laughing because this card, the Nine of Cups, is like the best card in the deck for luck, for your cup runneth over kind of thing. And then we've got this, oh, beautiful cards. And then we've got this card of repose. So what is this telling me about? I'm going to move them over so you can see. So what is this telling me about Saturn in Pisces in your seventh? Well, what it's telling me is that you need quiet repose and introspection to really understand what you want in your relationships. And if you play your cards right and you've done your work in order to stand up for your boundaries in a loving way, in a high integrity way, and you've also not allowed someone to devalue you or denigrate you, then the reward comes. And the star card is one of the most beautiful cards in the deck. It's actually about merging our material and spiritual world. And believe it or not, we do that a lot through a relationship, especially if we have a relationship in the material world that is very spiritual and soul felt. So these are really great cards. So I'm thinking that this transit is going to affect you by redefining the boundaries in your relationships, and the outcome is going to be a really good one for you. So definitely take that with you because those are some good energy cards. So see, when we have transits to our seventh house, it doesn't always mean that things are going to be tumultuously bad. Sometimes it means that we go through a little bit of a rinse cycle in order to come out in a really good place. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about tonight is we have, I recently put some posts up about some things because I think the energy right now in the world, especially with a lot of divisiveness and separation and things that are happening, there's a lot of energy out there where it's become really popular to denigrate each other and put each other down and kind of rank on each other. And you see that a lot on social media now. You see it a lot on the blogs and even some of the news channels. Like it's become really popular to make fun of, so many things, even things that are our authority figures, like dislike or like the authorities and the government or the presidents of certain countries, even our own here in the United States. Whether you like that person or not, it doesn't give you the right to denigrate them, make them a fool, make them feel less than, make them feel small. And I think somewhere in society that's really become acceptable for us in our daily lives. We see it with employers and with media people, with stars, with musicians, it's like everyone's denigrating each other and it's just become this sport. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that in the soul space because, listen, everybody's free to do what they want to do. But I would really ask all of you, because it's something I've been really working on the last 2 weeks in my own life, is really take a look at where things in your life are making you feel small and where they're making you feel big. And ask yourself, like, is this a good small or is this a bad small? Like I recently posted something, I was standing in front of this humongous evergreen and I felt so small, but it was a good small. It was a small like being one with the universe, no matter how big or small things are. And whatever size everything is doesn't matter. It's all about our oneness, right? We're all part of each other. We all are of the same race, which is human. And out there in the galactic fields and in the other dimensions, there's something that links us all because we were all created by the same energy. And in that, we're all linked. So why are we denigrating anything? Why are we mocking anything? Why are we making fun of anything? And so I'm trying to clean up my act by not doing that anymore to anything or any other living being, even if it's meant in a joking way. And I'm also cleaning up my life so that I don't allow anyone to do that to me. And it doesn't mean I have to fight with them or be in conflict with them. It just means that I can send love there and detach, and I can learn a way to function independently of that energy. And so I'm going to challenge all of you to do that because I think that's a big part of raising our consciousness and a big part of expanding love in our life. And no matter where you're finding that denigration, that feeling of, being made to feel like you're less than or you're small, realize that at the end of the day, it's kind of a choice that we allow it or we don't allow it. And that's up here. We don't have to quit a job or quit a partnership or leave a lover because we're feeling that way, unless it's abusive. If somebody's sense of humor just rubs us the wrong way or somebody's just really not getting it and we still want them in our life for whatever reason, whether it's necessity or family or whatever. We just have to find a way to function independently of that energy. And we can do that. That's possible. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I don't know if anybody has a comment about it, but I just feel like we've been stuck so much in this denigration of the human race and of everything. So it's just not good. So I'm going to pull a card for Janine, and maybe you guys, on your drive time tomorrow morning going to work, you could think about that. And also think about, where do you feel really big? What are the things in your life that make you feel, darn, I was really good at that? Or wow, that person made me feel like I was really meaningful and I felt appreciated for a moment. Like, where are those things? Do you feel that way with your employer, with your lover, with your partnerships, with your family, with, the people that you do your quiet time with, your leisure time with? Are you surrounding yourself with people who are supportive for you? And are you supporting others? We're biggest when we stoop down to help someone else, right? So I just wanted to say that because lately that's been really playing out in my life. And I'm happy in spite of the places where I was made to feel a little bit small, or maybe I was denigrated, because I've learned to function independently of that. And as a result, whether it's praise or criticism, it carries the same weight. It really means nothing to me. The only thing that means anything to me is what myself and God thinks. So, function independently of that, and let's stop denigrating each other. Let's make each other feel good and bigger and more significant. So I'm going to pull a card for you, Janine. And here is our card for Janine. Oh, wow, Janine, you got the Three of Cups, which is a celebratory card, which means that you may get an invitation to a party or some kind of a celebration. Sometimes that also means someone's having a child. I feel like an energy that you've had with you for a while, which was kind of an energy of self-imprisonment or, feeling held down by something, is really dissolving now. I think these new planetary transits coming in this month really put an end to that cycle. I feel like you're moving forward. Your mom is also very supportive of you from the other side. I'm seeing you coming into your own discernment, your own sovereignty. Don't forget that you are in control. Don't forget who you are and the power you have behind you and that light within you, because I feel like at times you doubt yourself and you become imprisoned in that energy. Move forward. Rip the blindfold off. See the truth. Know who you are and move forward in your life, because this card especially is a card. Bobby took the camera off the table. This card is especially a card of, releasing yourself from whatever is holding you back, whatever blockages you have. Release yourself from that. Take the blindfold off. You can walk right through whatever has been making you feel fenced in or penned in. And just know that this card of self-imprisonment, of, negative energy around you is definitely moving away. This is a card of complete abundance. This is a celebratory card. This is you sitting on your throne. So take your power and move forward and focus on yourself. I think that's really something that we all have to do in a big, big, meaningful way. All right. And that's about all I have tonight. Bonnie, I'm going to pick a card for you as well. How are you doing, Bonnie? I am doing good. Bonnie's going to be my last card of the night. You guys know you can always find me on Zenkuda Official on Instagram. You can find me on Zenkuda on YouTube, where all the shows are banked along with a lot of other videos that I do. So if you ever miss a show, you want to see it, you can go on Zenkuda on YouTube. And also, I'm going to tell you that this show is also on channel 115 on Cablevision on Fridays at noon. So if you missed the show on Monday night, you can just have lunch with me on Friday and watch. So Bonnie, for you, I get the card of nostalgia and also the King of Swords. So I feel very strongly that this is energy coming through to you from the other side. So just know that first I got a very feminine energy, like nostalgic, like a mom or grandma coming through. And now I'm getting an energy of dad or a father figure type person. Could be a grandfather as well. King of Swords, somebody who is very harmonious and very diplomatic in his dealings with people. So take that with you and just know if you have a mother and a father figure on the other side, they're definitely with you and they're coming in to show you, some beautiful energy. All right. So that's the show for tonight. And if anybody wants a private reading with me, you know where to find me. And please subscribe to all my websites and share the show. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you next Monday night at 7 o'clock.